Hello, football fans. Welcome back to Goal Side. In the world of football, we may come across an immense variety of different players in all of the diverse leagues and competitions that are globally known, with every single player being unique in their own style. Some players are born with natural talent, others with the will to work their socks off and earn their worth. Many players depend on their speed and physicality, while another group is more about their vision and technique. A large number of players is known for owning an almost supernatural level of fitness, while there are some who spend most of the year recovering from injuries. Regardless of what each player has to offer and what their behavior, personality, or lifestyle is like, they are all pieces of a puzzle, parts of a machine, playing their part in helping one big system, their team, either succeed or fail as a whole, and are treated as such by clubs and fans who will always wish to see the best puzzle pieces at their club, winning trophies and racking up the positive stats that win matches. There is one player at one of the biggest clubs right now, if not the biggest, who is a very particular type of player, a puzzle piece in his team that has always looked out of place alongside the other stars around him. A man who, probably thanks to the distance he has always had from his teammates and the fact that his fitness levels have never been the best, has never been appreciated to his fullest or even valued by his club's managers or fans. This video will be about Welsh phenomenon and much underappreciated Gareth Frank Bale, a 30-year-old winger who has never really gotten the credit he deserves, nor the respect he is owed by Real Madrid fans. Because after all, how do you measure a player's worth? How do you know he's doing well for you or just not good enough? Is it by scoring goals? Gareth Bale has never been a stranger to putting the ball in the net, many times in the most spectacular ways, assists and creating chances in general. The Welshman was an incredible partner of Cristiano Ronaldo, helping form the deadly trident of the BBC, Bale, Benzema, and Cristiano, a front three that won a lot and beat many sides in their time. What about trophies? Gareth Bale has certainly been key in earning those for Los Blancos, famous for scoring in big games and turning them on their heads when Real Madrid seems about to lose. Let's talk about Bale, because it's past time that he was respected for what he is capable of. Born on July 16, 1989, in the Welsh capital of Cardiff to local school caretaker Frank and operations manager Debbie Bale, Gareth took a love for sports early into his life, strongly admiring his fellow Welshman and Manchester United legend Ryan Giggs. He began his initial studies in the suburb of Whitchurch at Elgwys Nude Primary School, where he practiced football as much as he could, leading him to join his first side, an extinct club named Cardiff Civil Service FC. He was considered an excellent young player, but this is no real surprise, as football runs through his veins. His uncle is Chris Pike, a lethal ex-striker who played over 250 games across a dozen sides, including Fulham, Cardiff, and Gillingham, scoring over 150 goals during his career. Gareth's own ability led him to catch the eye of Southampton youth scouts, who happened to watch him during a tournament he participated in with his fellow members at Cardiff Civil Service. This would be his first step to starting off his career in professional football. Growing up as a teenager, he began studying at Whitchurch High School, where he further developed his ability in several sports at once. Not only did he get significantly better at football, developing his deadly left foot and wonderful dribbling, but he also showed his immense prowess in athletics, boasting the ability to run 100 meters in just over 11 seconds. He also played rugby and hockey, showing skills in both disciplines during his time at the school. Southampton allowed him the opportunity to begin training at one of their academies at this point of his life, and at the age of 16, he began to play for his school's under-18 side, winning a senior cup before graduating in 2005. By 2006, Gareth Bale had become a full-blown Southampton player, easing into their first side almost instantly and becoming the second youngest player ever to play for the first team on April 17th, the youngest ever being Theo Walcott. When he got a few minutes in a victory against Millwall, only a few months later in the next season, Bale scored against Derby County to notch his first ever league goal, a free kick that would be the first of many impressive set-piece goals in his career. By mid-December, Bale had scored 5 goals as a Southampton player, and most importantly, as a left back, having gotten important goals against Coventry City, Sunderland, Hull City, and Norwich City. All of these incredible moments helped him win both the BBC Wales Young Sports Personality of the Year and Football League Young Player of the Year in the same season, earning him much attention from the media, who celebrated the accomplishments of a player who was scoring and creating goals openly while still accomplishing the defensive duties that were required of him as a fullback. But it wasn't just the media who was watching this Welsh lad tearing it up at Southampton. A big London side was also paying attention to each game and each award he earned, hoping to sign his abilities soon enough. It was Tottenham Hotspur, a side which was happy to part with £5 million for young Gareth only a couple of weeks after his final match for Southampton in May of 2007. It was impressive, even for a youngster as good as he. After only 45 matches for his first professional club, he had been signed by a side that was already actively challenging for European spots in the Premier League. Very few young players could say they had only had to play 1 year for a club before having the same luck. However, Gareth Bale was not to be indebted to the club that had put its faith in him, despite being injured when the transfer took place, and he soon began to repay what the club had invested in him. His competitive debut came against Manchester United, but it would be 5 days later in his second match against Fulham, in which he would score his first goal. Not long after, he earned the love of his new club's fan base by scoring in a North London derby from a free kick and made it 3 goals in 4 starts by scoring in a League Cup match against Middlesbrough not long after. Unfortunately, it wasn't all going to be goals and good news for Gareth. On December 2nd, 2007, Bale received a severe tackle by Fabrice Mwamba, which injured him, causing him to suffer ligament damage to his right ankle and keeping him out of the game for the rest of the season. Spurs physios decided to take his recovery slowly, and Bale didn't return until over a year later, when he managed to get back to fitness in the late periods of the 2008-09 season. It was in this 2008-09 season when he signed a new 4-year deal with Tottenham, because regardless of how long it had been since he played last, they still knew what an amazing player they had on their hands. It took time for Bale to get past his injuries, as he soon underwent surgery again, this time for a knee injury in June of 2009. Nevertheless, he returned to football in late September of the same year and scored both a North London Derby winner in April 2010 and another inner against London rivals Chelsea only 3 days later. Both of these goals helped his side qualify for the UEFA Champions League, and his name was beginning to mean something across England. It wasn't until the 2010-11 season, however, when he really started to impress, picking up form in both the Premier League and the Champions League. Bale's stats really skyrocketed as he scored twice against Stoke City and assisted all 4 goals against Swiss side Young Boys. He scored again against Dutch 20, and before long he had earned the Welsh Player of the Year award, an honor that would accompany his BBC Wales Sports Personality of the Year trophy and PFA Players Player of the Year award he would win before the season was over. His infamous match against Inter Milan at San Siro came this season, in which he scored a hat-trick when his team had been 4-0 down at halftime. Another fantastic performance at White Hart Lane, in which he assisted 2 goals, guaranteed that his side progressed to the next stage. By now, all of Europe had their eyes on Bale. Although his 2011-12 season wasn't that much of an improvement on his previous one, 2012-13 was what took him to stardom. This season, he decided to swap squad numbers, claiming that he wasn't a left back and was now actually a full-time winger, and he was awarded the number 11. Goals against Manchester United in an historic Spurs win at Old Trafford, a hat-trick against Aston Villa, a brace against Newcastle United, 2 free-kick goals in a single game against Olympique Lyonnais, and a goal against Arsenal that would help his side win the North London Derby were just a few of the star moments that earned him both the PFA Players Player of the Year and Young Player of the Year award, as well as the FWA Footballer of the Year. This would make Bale only the second player in Premier League history to win all 3 awards, after a very similar goal-scoring winger, Cristiano Ronaldo. But it would be his last awards won in Britain, as Real Madrid soon came knocking, announcing his purchase on September 1st, 2013, in a world record deal of €100 million, the first ever to hit this number. Nicknamed the Cannon by the Spanish press just a few months into his Madrid career, Gareth began to impress at Los Blancos game after game, scoring several goals in the Champions League and notching both goals and assists in La Liga. His biggest moments came first in the 2014 Copa del Rey final, in which he scored the infamous sprinting goal against Barcelona to win the trophy, and then scored the winning goal in the extra time of the 2014 UEFA Champions League final against Atletico Madrid, cementing Real Madrid's décima. 2014-15 was an unimpressive season for him and his club, in which they won nothing beyond the Super Cup and Club World Cup, but Bale and Real Madrid returned to win the 2015-16 UEFA Champions League the following season, in which Bale surpassed Gary Lineker to become the highest-scoring British player in La Liga history. The following season, 2016-17, he helped his side win their 12th Champions League trophy. Bale's form grew more impressive in the 2017-18 season, and he was key in Real Madrid's UEFA Super Cup and Supercopa victories, also taking home the 2017 FIFA Club World Cup to start the season with a full stack of trophies. But it was the UEFA Champions League final in which he cemented his place in club history, scoring an insane overhead kick against Liverpool, as well as a long-distance shot past clumsy Loris Karius, which guaranteed victory for Los Blancos and a 13th Champions League trophy. Now, it must be said that, whatever else can be said about Gareth Bale, and however you can criticize him for being injury-prone or even lazy, he is a wonderful attacking player who is able to provide an unpredictable X-factor to his side that is often a key element in unlocking defenses. Furthermore, Real Madrid have only begun winning Champions League trophies again since he arrived, in great part thanks to his goals and assists in knockout stages and the finals, and his ability to lead for Wales has also led him to become the nation's leading goal scorer. A fast, unselfish, incredibly strong player with an amazing left foot And a great weak foot, too. It is a real crime to deny how good this Welsh star is and judge him because of a few bad moments in his career. Furthermore, Zidane may have thrown Gareth the final lifeline by denying his move to the Chinese Super League in the summer of 2019, with the Welshman having repaid him by scoring 2 goals and assisting 1 in 3 matches already. The truth is that Gareth Bale is a player who will be remembered by Los Blancos as a legend, whether the current fans love him or hate him, and he will always deserve great credit for his contribution to 4 Champions League trophies they might not have earned otherwise. This has been all our analysis on Gareth Bale's career and success and why he deserves more credit than he gets. Hopefully, you've loved it. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video right here on Goal Side.